Sub-Saharan Africa holds an estimated 20 to 25 billion tons of proven and probable iron ore reserves, which represents a significant portion of the continent's total iron ore resources, with the most notable deposits found in countries like Uganda, Guinea, South Africa, Liberia, Mauritania, Sierra Leone, and the Republic of Congo. Sitting on more than 400 acres of land, the Devki mega steel project will absorb over $500 million as both leaders President Museveni and Kenya's William Ruto decried the over-dependency on steel imports, a negative trend that has seen Africa lose billions in imports of these steel products.
With an estimated 20 to 25 billion tons of proven and probable iron ore reserves, Sub-Saharan Africa possesses the natural resources needed not only to meet its rapidly growing domestic demand, but also to position itself as a major global exporter. The establishment of the Tororo steel industry sends a very powerful message that our countries possess both the capacity and the courage to build globally competitive industries that drive Africa's transformation. The steel sector in Africa has become increasingly pivotal in fueling economic progress throughout the continent, with a strong emphasis on bolstering infrastructure, advancing industrialization, and ensuring and enhancing value-added manufacturing. The industry is instrumental in shaping Africa's economic trajectory.
William Ruto says Africa's steel market reached a volume of 39.5 million tons in 2024 and is projected to hit a volume of 52 million tons in 10 years by 2034. With the launch of the Devki mega steel project, President William Ruto is optimistic that this investment will not only reduce East Africa's dependence on steel imports, but also create vast employment opportunities for Uganda and East Africa.
Africa's steel market reached a volume of 39.5 million tons in 2024 and is expected to hit a projected volume of 52 million tons by 2034, driven by bolstering infrastructure and advancing industrialization.
On regional integration, William Ruto said he will be launching the dualling of the road from Rironi near Nairobi, connecting to Malaba, as one way of reducing traffic congestion and time wasted on the road.
And Mr. President, next week on Friday, I will be launching the dualling of the road from Rironi near Nairobi that will come all the way to Malaba. As you know, Mr. President, today, that road is getting slower as traffic increases. And therefore, we have made the strategic decision to create a highway and dual that road so that we can facilitate faster movement of goods, people, and services between Kenya, Uganda, and the rest of the East African hinterland.
William Ruto also scoffed at those he said were using the Indian Ocean debate to insinuate division between the two countries, as he assured Ugandans that they have Kenya's full support in accessing the sea via its numerous ports.
Uganda is assured of the access to the sea through Kenya, and that is why we are not only extending the pipeline, we are also extending the road, and we are also extending the railway, because we believe that this region needs to move as one. For those who want to engage us in negative talk, we want to tell them, please give us a break. We do not have time for negative talk. We have time for progress. We want to work together to create jobs. We want to work together to attract investment. We want to work together to do investments like the one I see here today.
On the issue of steel imports, President Museveni revealed that after the launch of this mega project in Tororo, Uganda won't be losing the $500 million the country has been wasting on the importation of steel products every year.
Now you have heard the implications of this project. Uganda is now squandering $500 million per year to export flat sheets and the other metals from which we make mabati and make mitayimbwa. So these raw materials for those intermediate products for mabati and from mitayimbwa are taking much of the money. The other specialized steel, like the one of the railway and the dams, that one we may not go for because we need to be sure about the demand. But for the mabati and for the mitayimbwa, we must support Mr. Guru to produce them here, so that, because that's the biggest money that is going, the 500 million.
President Museveni commended the investor, Dr. Narendra Raval, for investing $500 million into this project, which will create employment opportunities for over 1,500 Ugandans, hence boosting development in Uganda.
Now, I'm glad Mr. Guru is going to start another facility in Kabale now for upgrading the iron ore, which is low grade, to the high grade, which will create jobs for 1,600 people. Now, regarding the job distribution, I want to advise Guru to be a bit, to broaden a bit, because the people of Kabale and you, the Bateso, be careful. Don't push things too far. You may cause us a problem. Because the Bachiga are saying we must follow our iron ore and get the jobs over there. Because the factory is supposed to be in the area, but we put it here, far away from the raw material, because of other economic factors. Now, what you Africans need to know is the power of the pocket, the purchasing power. You can imagine the money we are giving to foreigners. $500 million a year from Uganda to foreigners. This is a lot of support for them. Kenya, you have had $800 million. This is a lot of support. So if that money remains in our pocket, instead of giving it to others, we shall be much better off.
While responding to Ruto's comments on the current efforts being undertaken on various infrastructure development projects that will boost regional integration, President Museveni concurred with his counterpart on the issue of dual carriageways to reduce traffic congestion, as he also called for the partitioning of transportation to ensure effectiveness while combating the traffic congestion dilemma.
You have heard what he has said about the pipeline. These roads, the transport system is now irrational. We need to rationalize it. Why is it irrational? Barabara, the road, they are small cars. They are railways carrying cargo. They are petrol tankers carrying petrol, all on the road. So we need to disaggregate, separate. Fuel pipeline, toko kwa barabara. You go through the pipeline. Mizigo, garimoshi, mizigo mikubwa. The train. Barabara, light cargo and passenger. And you heard what he was saying about also the dual carriaging the roads instead of just two lanes.